Hey, welcome back to Second Run Gaming. I'm Austin, and we are here yet again with another episode of Massive Chalice. We've got a keep to protect. Looks like it's going to be our Castellan keep. If we lose, we're in big trouble. I talked about it a little bit at the end of the last episode, but we are going to be facing some cradles, which is good for our research, but potentially bad for our heroes. Anyway, let's just get into it. So I've been feeling decent about the people that we have in our vanguard. We've got Sundry, Sraydoc, Nike, and Victor. And we've got our replacement Zelakar in Anomer. Perfect. Let's get into it.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready to hit something today.
Okay, so let's take stock of where we're at. We are not super far away from our Castellan keep people, but not super close. We know for sure that there's two enemies right over here. So, at least with Sundry to start out, I'm going to have them run over here, since they do have that knockback flask, and we're going to see if they can't hopefully knock both of these guys back. Stun them into each other. That worked great. That Twitcher even got taken out. But as we know, especially with cradles, we are not out of the woods until they are out of just the game. So I'm gonna see if we can't really focus in on taking them out. So we're gonna have Victor just do a standard shot. Damn. I mean, again, thankfully he's stunned, so if we miss stuff here, it's not the end of the world, but still not really what I want. Alright, let's look at our regency. We've got Shauna and Kyoji. It's looking like this direction is going to be where our heroes are going to be coming from. And Shauna can stealth, so we're going to have her do that. And Kyoji's kind of just gonna keep the pace. I don't want to put him too far ahead just in case there are enemies that we haven't yet seen. Move Sraydoc up. Since our Caperjacks are all melee units, there's no point in not stealthing them at this point. We know that the cradle's over there, but it's across a little ravine, so I can't get to him. He's stunned anyway, so that gives us a little bit of time to start moving our units just forward. So I'm of the mind of keeping our ranged units just focused on this cradle a little bit. So we're going to do just another attack here and see if Sundry can't do another knockback to stun him. Because that does a bunch of damage, especially because the knockback actually is like a second attack in a way. And I'm going to have Victor hopefully finish him off. Nice. Now these seeds are probably going to start rushing forward, but we should be able to deal with them without too much of a problem. Gonna move Nike over here, but potentially flank him. And we'll have Sraydoc similarly just kind of get into position. And Omer, I'm gonna keep over here, just in case they come from the other direction. And I'm gonna move Kyoji up a little bit. And get Shauna to come up in stealth as well. I'm going to just try and keep it really condensed so we're only dealing with the enemies that we have to. Don't want to accidentally aggro anything. So we can just focus on these 3 seeds and get them out. That'd be good. Ooh. Well, that made things a little complicated for us. Can't be too easy, right? Glancing blow, at least. Hey, 2 glancing blows. I'll take that. A little worried about this cradle, but it doesn't look like they have the ability to do anything right now, which is good. I'm gonna have Victor move as far away from at least the cradle as possible. And then we have kind of an option here. I'm gonna just do a standard attack on this Twitcher that's closest. It's at least priming him to be taken out. And Omer is definitely gonna run up and try and take this Twitcher for all he has. Not too bad. And Sundry, we could have focus on that too. It kind of depends on our units down here. So let's see what Stray Dog can't do. They do have the sneak attack, but we don't really need to do that on the seeds, to be honest. Nike's actually got a better shot at potentially hitting him. 65. I am going to go to just try and stun them. That way they're kind of dispatched. And it does a lot of damage now that we have those better cabers. And since the relics are so high level, this way I can have Stray Doc try and just do a standard hit here. Yeah, awesome. So that effectively makes the seeds taken care of. You can see Kyoshi can get up here. And we could throw a knockback, but there's too many units there. It's too risky. So we're just going to have Kyoshi continue to come forward. And I'm going to have Shauna do the same, but since she hasn't been revealed, I'll keep her hidden. Now it's really up to Sundry who we want to use. Sundry can't actually get far enough over there for that, so we're just going to have him try and melee this Twitcher. Nice. I'm actually okay with that, because the danger in this level in particular is really going to come from, I mean everybody, but primarily the cradles are going to be a large source of trouble. But these Twitchers are throwing things off with their teleportation. Thankfully our armor is good enough to where we're at least not getting stunned a shit ton, which I was kind of worried about. But we're going to have to do some thinking here about how we want to play this out. Well, I definitely think Kyoji will just come up here, at least try and dispatch this Twisher.
Yes!
Calm down,
Nice.
you're going to tip us over.
Because the teleportation is a problem. And cradles are worse, but we're going to want to keep our eye on everything. Now it's tempting to have Anomir just try and take this Twitcher out, but I still think it's important to dispatch this cradle if we can, and that might be as simple as just doing a knockback right now. Yikes. Well, that was the waste of a turn for Anomir. Thankfully Sundry at least can come up here and do some damage. I'm gonna have him hack and slash it, just so we can get this Twitcher out of the way. We can't reach the cradle, so I might as well want to reduce just the amount of attacks that we're going to be working with. Victor's right here next to this cradle, so I don't see why we shouldn't. We could blind this cradle, since we know we're not going to take him out this turn. Since this other cradle right here is gonna have a shot, I'm gonna, you know, it's a risk, but I'm gonna try it. That way, hopefully, he'll just make some seeds instead of trying to do one of his super powerful attacks. Shauna has kind of got to come out of the woodwork now, especially because two of our Zelikars are back here with these seeds. So we kind of got to figure out what we want to do with them. I'm going to have Nike actually run forward to try and regroup with the rest of the team. because honestly we're really gonna need those units pretty soon, and that frees up Stray Doc to hopefully get these two just with one knockback. Awesome.
Deplorable beast of pestilence.
We're starting to see these advanced ruptures creep up. Definitely something to pay attention to. Oh, wow. We got lucky there that it wasn't one more. Okay, looks like Nike, yeah. It's tough because the way that the Twitchers have kind of said it is that everybody's really separated here, which is not ideal. It's not what you want to have happen, but it's kind of what we're stuck with. So we might have to roll with it. Now, interestingly enough, we can have Kyoji come up here, and then Kyoji is going to have potentially good aim at this knockback. It's 57, which I don't like, especially since Nomair's here. So I'm going to move a Nomair out of the way and away from our ruptures as well, closer to this cradle. And then I'm going to have Kyoji just kind of Hail Mary. Well, it didn't hit the cradle, but it did take out that rupture behind him, which is something. It definitely wasn't useless. Crazy thing here is Sundry, who just got the nickname of Spooky, which is pretty nice. I'm actually going to have Shauna come up here, since she can't reach anybody else right now, and have her heal Sundry just a little bit. It's still not a lot, so I don't know if it's going to do any good. But I'm going to have Sundry just come up by 1 and throw this knockback flask. It's a 92 from here, so I'm going to take that. And that should hopefully stun this cradle. Awesome. Because the big thing about cradles is just keeping them at bay, honestly. So similarly, I'm going to use my next blinding shot to just continue to blind this cradle, just until we have kind of our backup Caberjack arrive. Stray Doc is in an interesting spot. I'm going to actually have Stray Doc stealth, since he can. And then Nike is going to come forward and do a knockback on these two, hopefully stunning that cradle. Good. We needed that. We're playing a dangerous game here. We're fighting 3 separate cradles with 3 separate like groups of 2. Not how I want to play Massive Chalice, but it's kind of how we have to. Okay, so we got a little bit more wiggle room here, but not too much still. I'm going to have Nike come up from the side and just try and hit this cradle head on. Oh yeah, that's what I needed. Okay, cool. We got a couple options here. This is probably going to hurt Nike in the process, but I think I got to do it. I'm just going to knock this rupture back into that seed up there, or suffer a glancing blow and have that not happen at all. Now Kyoji similarly has a couple options here, so I'm gonna think about what I can do with all of these units. I think we're gonna buddy up on this cradle up here, so I'm gonna have Shauna come up potentially, but we're gonna have Enomair do a standard hit first, because Shauna has the best hit rate. So if we have to knock him out, I'm going to want Shauna to be the one to do that. We want Victor to come up and just get a shot on this cradle. Okay. This cradle's weak enough to where I feel like we should just take him out, so I'm going to try for that. Awesome. So we're bringing up a bunch of seeds, but in comparison to cradles, I'll take that any day. And then Sundry actually has an 80% just to hit him. But the seeds are going to appear when that happens, which I'm a little worried about. And there are already seeds by us as well. So I've got half a mind, honestly, to move Sundry back here just for the time being. Actually have Sundry heal herself so that she's not screwed when the inevitability of all of these seeds show up. But we do need to figure out this cradle deal. I'm gonna throw another knockback and hope that it hits. Awesome. I don't know if it stunned that cradle that time, which I'm not feeling great about, especially because these ruptures are gonna explode in our face and we may lose our guy here. It didn't stun him. Tough. But he didn't shoot, he just made more seeds. Even them having a turn, though, is detrimental just because those seeds do add up. And that rupture's going to explode, to be expected there. But these cabers have rebound, so fortunately I think that's going to actually take care of most of the legwork here. Because it's going to stun 2, if not all 3 of these seeds. And then we can actually just keep Nike there, move Stray Doc to help out the rest of our units, because Nike can certainly handle 3 seeds, I would say. Awesome. Hopefully they attack our cabers here and kind of leave our Foxfire alone down south, because then they'll all get stunned or at least rebounded as well. Oh, fuck. Another Twitcher. Okay. So yeah, we're definitely still just in a heap of trouble. There's a lot going on. Stray Dog kind of has to just make a beeline into the rest of the action. But Nike doesn't have much of a choice other than to focus on these seeds here. Damn. Kyoji's in an interesting spot just because of how low he is on health. I think we're going to have Sundry run up here now, though, and try and finish off that cradle. Damn. That's not what I wanted. But we'll make it work. And Amir can't quite get there, so it's going to come on Shauna to finish off this cradle here. Nice. First 3 more seeds, but we gotta fight him at some point. We've just got a lot of enemies to face now. So, seeing on how we're going to want to do it, I'm going to have Anomir move here to try and stun these 2. Damn. Well, if not, hopefully he'll just kind of keep aggroing these seeds and they can stun off of each other. Victor can do the flask shot, which will at least hurt 2 seeds, so we'll try for that. And we'll miss. Okay, it's getting just a little bit scary. It's tough because of Kyoji's predicament here. I don't think we can afford to not use Kyoji. So I'm going to have Kyoji just move back 1. Keep their range intact. And I'm going to throw this knockback flask. Hopefully it can push this cradle into this Twitcher. Not quite. And it didn't stun him either. Oh, worst case scenario there. Thankfully, Nucky is just so heavy on health that these seeds aren't going to wear him down. But the downside is it's going to take Nike most of probably this battle to dispatch them on his own. Okay, good. Those 2 just stunned each other, which is what I was hoping for at least a couple of those seeds to do. We'll see what these seeds do. Yeah, they're probably not going to attack our Caber. That would be too easy. That one will, which is good. That'll propel him into that acid also. The Twitcher, though, he's the one that I'm mainly worried about. Perfect. I was really worried that they were going to go after our Alchemist, but they didn't, even though he's super weak. And he's really light on health, so we got lucky there. Gonna have Stray Doc just try and finish this Twitcher off here. So close. So with that, just kind of by necessity, Kyoshi's gonna come up here and try and finish him off. Good. It's something. Then, since we know kind of what's going on here, gonna have Nike just give it another shot on this guy. Awesome. Down to 2. Now, this is where things get a little more complicated. So we have a couple options. The flash shot I definitely want to use. Anomare's just in the way, so I'm going to move Anomare back here. Awesome. That way Victor is free to do a flask shot on these 3 and hopefully hit or miss. Thanks. Fear not, though. I've got another plan. Sundry doesn't have a lot of health, so they might be living on borrowed time, but I'm going to try and get them to use their flasks if possible. So I'm going to do a knockback right here. Pretty much get them all down to just really light health. And then Shauna will try. She's got not good ratios on any of them. I'm going to try and have her stun these 2 here. Awesome. Well, that was good. Sundry's definitely the one that's in the most risky situation right now, so we'll see if she can make it out. But it seems like we've dispatched, what, like 3 or 4 cradles at this point, 5 Twitchers, and a butt ton of seeds, and we still have a lot of seeds to go through, so I'm feeling like we're nearing the end of our enemy load. It's just a question of if we can get our Vanguard and our Regency through it alive. I'm sure we'll be able to get most of them. It's just going to be a couple that's going to kind of come down to the wire on. Okay, we're going to start with Nike again because he's just in the same situation. Another glancing blow too. He's really making this take forever. Kyoji right here. Since there's this natural barrier, I want to heal him, but it's not super necessary right now. And if he can throw a flask, I'd love it. But just because I'm a little worried about how close Shauna is, I am going to move her. I'm going to try and get her to get one of these higher health enemies, though. And then if Kyoji can't just Hail Mary this. Hey, it worked for one of them. And then we'll have Sundry basically do the same thing. And that dispatched 2 of them. Then from there, fingers crossed Anomare can knock this guy. Damn it. Thankfully all the seeds are really light on health. It's just that some of our units are starting to get light on health themselves. And because of that, I'm actually going to have Victor come up and heal Anomare instead of making an attack. And it's just Stray Doc who's going to be really back here. I'm going to have them just run up this way. Maybe take one of the seed's attentions in the process. Oh, Sundry, you did what you could. I'm proud of you. But I think this might be the end for you. Oh. Down to the bitter end. Well, as always, especially with these keep defenses, it's rare to save everybody. I was expecting somebody to go. I'm sad that it's Sundry, but I'm glad that she was able to get a lot of kills in there, level up that relic a little bit. None of these guys are close enough for the flash shot, which is very disappointing. But it is what it is. I'll have Animare just focus on this guy in the front. Nice. Okay, Stray Doc has a good chance at getting some experience here, so I'm going to have him run forward, try and take this guy out. Nice. And now we actually will have Kyoji heal, because why not? You never know if another Twitcher is going to randomly appear. And then we'll have Nike hit this guy again. Nice. Down to 1, finally. Okay, I'm going to try and see if Victor can't get a kill here. He can't. I want to level up that relic, but it's tough. It's tough. It's low level, so it's weaker. I guess it's crazy. Shawn is actually just our Regency. She's not even running with the relic, and she's been holding her own. So I think that really goes to show that we do, that standard Kibra training has really paid off as well. Alright, looks like we're just down to hopefully this last seed, and hopefully Nike will just bring it into a close. Nice.
I admire your resilience.
The people made a hardy ruler.
Awesome. So we got through it. It took us quite a while. Some people leveled up, but not to any levels that get new skills. And Sundry did pass, but she got a nickname before it happened, so that's good. More importantly, we're almost at year 240, and we're alive, which is just crazy to me. So Sundry Castian has died heroically in battle. We get to pass her relic on. Hand of Fate, it's really moving up in the world. Let's see who we have. Ziltasha, Bountiful, so maybe not. Sharifa has Bear Strength, nothing else, but hey, Bear Strength ain't bad. Anna, decreased everything, no thank you. And slow XP grain, which I don't like. Christina, not too bad, increased dexterity is good. Elenia, oh yeah. I think Elenia's our girl. She's got increased dexterity, increased max HP, and a pessimistic trait. Double checking with everybody else. But yeah, I think Elenia is the one, hands down. Let's keep moving. So, the Negotiator. An exhausted Leonka Vesper has returned. I couldn't promise them that the salt stacks would be safe forever, so I had to do the next best thing. If we lose the salt stacks, every citizen will be allotted a plot of land near the capital to be used as they see fit. They accepted. Now if you don't mind, I'd like to pass out for at least 2 weeks. Leonka Vesper has returned and has gained the nickname, the Negotiator. That's pretty cool. Vespers might get a random relic, doesn't really matter because they don't have a keep. We don't want to lose the salt stacks anyway, since that's the spot that's got 2 marks of the cadence and our keep, so we're just going to fight like hell to keep that thing. Estella of the Sage Rights Guild has died at the age of 65. There's just a Sheppy in there who's got that insane amount of intuition. Rhea has a good amount too, but she's already 69. I'd rather not strip her of her house title now, just because. I want to see what happens with Leonka, I guess. Sandra can definitely go in there though. Terrible traits. That being said, the Negotiator is pretty great to have in our Sage Rights Guild. So I think I will throw Leonka in there. She proved her strength in negotiation, so she was given the highest praise of being a Sage Right. And she still has that nickname too. Grace, partner to Rico, has passed. That was the loveless marriage, so sadly, probably for the best. Now, Rico's 55, he's got low fertility. We're really not going to have a lot to go off of here. We could throw mags in there, since they're not from any of our other bloodlines, but we might as well. Ovis has decent traits. Beatrice has better traits. Martingale has honestly pretty good traits too, but I think Beatrice is the best. Pessimistic, nimble, nothing too bad. I'm gonna throw Beatrice in there. Ah, Nike, you did good up until the bitter end. They've passed on. The last friend is gonna be passed down. Let's see who we've got. Skoda, increase sight range, decrease strength though, and then they're cocky. Nimiana, nah. Claire. Okay, so they can't have kids, so they're not in the running for the Regency. But they have increased max HP, increased HP, and they're patriotic. I think Claire's the one to beat right now. Well, look at Daenerys. Longevity, which is nice, but I want to get Claire in there. Yeah, I think we're just gonna call it. We'll throw that one to Claire.
I hope some respite was taken in knowing their work would live on.
They're crazy, convoluted, forever taking work.
Giuseppe, you helped us with that 20 intuition. I don't think we're going to find that ever again. Let's see what we have. All these guys, they have great intuition, but they're old. I just can't imagine they'll stay around for too long. We got a couple outliers, though. Mags, I'm not going to use. Christopher, I'm also not going to use. They both have the same amount of intuition. I'll just throw Mags in there, why not? Alright, our mental study was a success, and among many of its revelations is an experience boost for all your heroes. With this newfound knowledge, your heroes will learn and gain experience at an increased rate. Hell yeah. Now, since we took out those cradles, we can research the Ultra Elixir, and we will. We already have health files in play. This will just make them stronger.
Let's do it.
Oh boy. I knew this day would come. So, this region up here has 2 marks of the cadence. Our assault stacks that have the Castillans on it also has 2 marks of the cadence. We have to defend our keep. And because of that, we are going to lose this region up north, but it is what it is. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We're going to start this battle off in the next episode. Almost at year 250, 55 years until the end. We're coming up on it. See you next time.